So we're going to go over what we know so far about the shooter of the Minnesota lawmakers and searching for the suspect. And then we're going to see what his best friend said, his roommate.
Owner of a security company, which would help explain the tactical gear and the car he had access to and used to allegedly pull off the crimes.
Just in the last 2 hours, we have learned, according to Broadcastify scanner traffic, Boelter may be traveling with another man, and the search for him has expanded to South Dakota. Anyone with information on Boelter's whereabouts is asked to call the number you see there on your screen.
Like two different
right now, the FBI is
there.
offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to his arrest and conviction.
Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed in the brazen assassination. She is on the right of your screen. Senator John Hoffman on the left of your screen. And his wife Yvette were all injured in that attack, in which police are calling a targeted attack.
Those shootings happened early this morning at the lawmakers' homes in Brooklyn Park and Champlin. In the last 2 hours, we did receive a bit of good news. We learned Yvette Hoffman is awake and alert. Kent Erdahl joins us now with a timeline of today's events. Kent?
Julie, though we've been talking about this all day and have seen those clear pictures of Boelter for hours now, it's important to remember this all happened very quickly in the middle of the night. And the man at the lawmaker's door initially looked very different. In the span of just a couple of hours and a few miles, state leaders say an assassin wearing a police disguise and a mask visited two homes belonging to two senior DFL state legislators.
This was an act of targeted political violence.
This morning, Governor Walz announced that Senator John Hoffman was targeted first. He and his wife Yvette shot multiple times in their Champlin home at around 2 a.m. The couple's nephew, Matt Oleg, writing on Facebook, "My aunt threw herself on her daughter, using her body as a shield to save her life." Remarkably, he says the couple survived, adding they're both out of surgery and recovering.
These are public servants, leaders who committed their lives to improving the lives of others, and they were targeted in a violent and cowardly way.
Minnesota's Commissioner of Public Safety later said the suspect, 57-year-old Vance Boelter, exploited the lawmakers' trust in law enforcement to gain entry, not once, but twice.
It was knocking on the door and asking the person to come out, absolutely impersonating a police officer.
Brooklyn Park's police chief saying that disguise briefly confused officers in his city an hour and a half after the first shooting, when they conducted a welfare check just a few miles away at the home of DFL House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman.
When they arrived at Melissa's house, they noticed that there was a police vehicle in the driveway with the lights, emergency lights on, and what appeared to be a police officer at the door coming out of the house.
Somebody
when
got here before
our
us.
officers confronted him, the individual immediately fired upon the officers, who exchanged gunfire, and the suspect retreated back into the home.
He says they found Melissa and Mark Hortman dead of multiple gunshot wounds, and they believe Boelter fled on foot through the backyard, leaving his vehicle and valuable evidence behind.
When we did a search of the vehicle, there wasn't a manifesto that identified many lawmakers and other officials.
Minnesota Senator Tina Smith.
You gotta think this man can't be that fast. So did they stop and just stay there? They probably stayed there, didn't go in the house or didn't search. You think one of them would have went to the back and made sure he didn't get out of there, or maybe they wasn't thinking, it was just that shock was it.
State Attorney General Keith Ellison have confirmed they were on that list, and law enforcement sources who have seen it tell our AJ Legault that it also includes names of non-elected officials tied to abortion rights.
We must all, Minnesota and across the country, stand against all forms of political violence.
That begins by looking out for Boelter, who was last seen and photographed in North Minneapolis at about 6 this morning.
I believe he's working to potentially flee the area, and so that's why we're sharing that information now so that we can safely apprehend him.
And state leaders say they have been working with federal partners, including the TSA, on this manhunt. And since our last update, we know they've also visited several properties connected to Boelter in hopes of learning all that they can.
All right. Thank you, Kent.
Wow. Now, there was something about the best friend. There we go. Let's see.
No, because he was on call for work, and he'd always say, "Yeah, I need rest for work, so I'm sharp," because he was extracting eyeballs, so gotta be sharp for that.
I remember him walking out of the house, or hearing him walking out or anything.
Nope.
Was it unusual for him to go to bed at 7 p.m.? I mean, when you say...
Well, it depends on the shift, no, because he is working all kinds of hours. Didn't seem odd, no.
Did he give you any emotional message, said that he loves you besides the text messages or something like that that seemed off?
Well, he said that he made some choices, and he said, you guys don't know anything about it, but yeah.
Another big ass.
That's what he said. He didn't have much time to live.
Another big ass. Do you mind if I take a picture of the text message?
Nah,
You can block out his number.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I kind of keep that private because I read it to people, and I don't know. I just got to get going. I have to.
Is his phone still ringing when you called?
No, it's
Go straight to voicemail?
Yeah, just voicemail. I can't. He doesn't want me involved.
Yeah.
So he's not going to call me. He's not going to receive calls from me.
Can we at least see the text?
You care about him.
Well, then everyone's taking pictures. I don't know why I'm so. He sent it to me and a friend, so it wasn't just me. And I don't know if my friend would think about me sharing that with everybody. I mean, I read it out loud just so you guys could get a context of what I feel when I read it.
Yeah.
And.
Can you read it to us? We were in here yesterday.
Yeah, I know. But I
he read it out loud.
Do you have a message for him in case he's watching? He watches. Do you want to send him a message?
Yeah, tell him I love him and he's still my best friend, and I hope he doesn't kill anybody else. And I hope he surrenders himself for the sake of his family.
You must be disappointed?
Well, yeah. But, I don't want to see him killed. And
that sounds crazy to y'all maybe, but I mean, I get it. If you love somebody, your best friend, if you have kids or brother did something crazy, you wouldn't want to see him dead. You're like, what the fuck? I don't support that. Like, oh my God, he got to go. He's mentally ill, but you don't necessarily want to see them dead. So this is like real raw emotion. You know?
I'll still visit him in prison, I guess.
Oh. Damn, this dude he's sweet. Oh my God. Like, it could be taken a different way. Like, he's in it. And I actually look at the comments before I even looked at watching the video with y'all now. And people were like, oh, he's probably in it. Like you still care for him. Of course he still does. Like, this is raw emotion. He's probably one of those sweet teddy bear guys, probably not many friends and not understood. And I mean, he was roommate with another man. So, I mean, and they're in their 40s, 50s. So he probably was like, I mean, close to him. Only family he got could have been.
What else are you going to do? But, I just don't want him to give up on life or kill himself.
Are you concerned he may have already done that?
Sure.
You said that he said in recent days he made choices that you don't know.
That was a trick question. Are you concerned that he already did that? If you said no, then how do you know? Have you been speaking to him?
Tell us about those conversations, please.
Those weren't that was a text. Yeah.
So he didn't do anything in your interactions with him in the days before this happened that made you wonder?
No, that made me call the police. The
text did. But any conversations you had?
So he called the police.
Prior to this, nothing seemed.
Well, like we said, we had our separate lives. I worked and he worked, and he was here, and sometimes he'd go down and we'd hang out, but we would never. Wasn't. Sometimes politics would be on the TV, but he was never really anything that was in-depth conversation about just comments, And
just for the record, your name is David Carlson?
Yeah, with a C. Because this Minnesota, and you guys don't know Carlson? Carlson. Carlson. Norwegian, Swedish, yeah. But, yeah, it just bothers me that's his legacy. But I knew him all my life. He wasn't that guy, You're gonna kill me.
I'm sorry, David.
Damn. That was real emotion right there.
I knew him all my life. He wasn't that guy,
He wasn't that guy,
You're gonna kill me.
I'm sorry.
That's raw human emotion right there. He's just as fucking gassed as we are. I want to see what the text message is. Hold on. I thought it was going to come up. Fuck. I can't type right now. Minnesota. What do I put? Shooter. Friends? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Became emotional reading the last text message they exchanged. I bet. You just seen him.
Maybe dead shortly. So I just want to let you know that I love you guys both, and I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way, because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused. He was a loving, caring guy, loved his family, loved his friends, and loved God, and I don't know why he did what he did. It's not Vance. No one will believe this. No one that grew up. He had lots of friends, trust me. And I wish I could have been there to stop him.
Yo, damn. Now he like, wow, he working at Papa John's or something. He ain't got a roommate no more. I think they said roommate. Now he got to pay the bills by himself. He got all his life turned upside down. People gonna see him even different. Hey, ain't you that guy from the T? Somebody might even try to do something to him because of that. He got all these people, and he don't know why. Talking about a manifesto. He grew up with this guy. Wow. Let me know what y'all think, Cave Dweller. This, I don't think this guy knew. And if he knew a little bit about it, or maybe he called him or something, I don't know. But the shooter, made sure like he could send that text, hey, you guys ain't know nothing about this, and I don't want to implicate you. Boom. They can't prove nothing. That's, damn. Good people turn bad sometimes, all the time. Let me know what y'all think, Cave Dwellers, man.